of episodes where we've had a chance to share about just what disability is, some facts that we need to go by, some misconceptions that we need to have dissolved, and some etiquette that we need to know when we are interacting with these people. And I'm just hoping that you've had a chance to learn a thing or two, or you've had a platform to have someone learn something probably if they didn't know. So today I will be sharing with you something about myself, who Naomi is, and mainly why I decided to start this channel. Growing up in the village, I would say I got to hear a lot of misconceptions and myths that I now know of about the world of those living with disabilities over and over again, that I got to believe them. And looking back even now, I can't quickly think of the facts or the truths that I can say I used or I got to hear about the world of those living with disabilities. So somehow these misconceptions or the myths or the beliefs that were talked about over and over about those living with disabilities somehow just got to sink in my mind, and they became the truth. And it's until not long ago that now I got a chance to want to know more and more about people living with disabilities and just what goes on in their lives, that I thought I needed to actually dissolve these myths that we have grown, and especially myself, have grown hearing them over and over until they actually sound like they are the truth. A very good example will be just how it has been repeated so many times until it so feels or sounds like a disability is only that which I can see with my eyes. But then what happens if it's the very eyes that I don't have? What happens? So it prompted me to want to sit down and learn and get to know more about just this world of those living with disabilities. And after learning a thing or two, I thought, why not? Why don't I actually share with my community? Because Naomi is just a representation of so many people who either think they know or think they know enough about the world of those living with disabilities. So really that's the reason behind me starting this channel, so that we can just have a platform to share the truths, to share the facts, to share the realities that keep dawning to us every day. And one of those is the fact that a disability can happen to you anytime, anywhere, at any age. In addition, I'm taken back to remember the many signages I grew up seeing, say on the road, in places like medical facilities, in shopping malls and so on, that I grew up seeing these signages, but no one ever stopped to even tell me what they mean, to tell me what I should do if I'm near one. And therefore I just grew up thinking probably a number of them were just part of the decorations of that place. But one of the things that made me wonder was, of all the places, why would there be a decoration on the road? You know, where we have things like, for example, the pedestrian crossing signages, like, you know, the cyclist signage and such like things. Because again, not all road signages are only supposed to be taught when someone goes to a driving school. What happens to me, for example, who can't drive for one reason or the other? Don't I need to know the signages? And because some of them actually are supposed to tell me that probably a person with a disability needs to use that spot, or a person helping one with a disability, for instance, needs to know they can use that space. So just seeing all these things around and having really no one to tell me what they were, they didn't mean a lot to me. Up until then, I have got to realize of late that they do. And until someone educates society and tells them that this is what they mean, they're just going to be there as signages. So that's also my other reason I am here on this platform, to just have us put out that communication. It's one thing to put out that signage, it's one thing to put out that drawing. It's another thing, and it helps a big deal when someone really breaks it down to that lay person, who in this case would have been Naomi those years ago, to just tell them exactly what it means. So that's the other reason I started this channel, to break down the meanings of every signage that we come across that could be related to someone living with a disability. And lastly, the other reason I thought, or that was behind me starting this channel, is for you to be able to tell me what area you think we need to look at, we need to break down for people to understand. It makes it easier when, for example, we get experiences from people either who live with disabilities or who interact with those living with disabilities to tell us how we can help society, and just have them look at people living with disabilities as human beings first, like I've said before, and not label them with their disabilities. So again, this is a channel for you out there to drop in a suggestion, drop in a comment on what you think we need to cover, what area you think we need to educate society on, or to actually just break down, because sometimes this information about disabilities is so wide, and it can easily be like vague until we have a chance to break it down to that lay person in the village, to that employees somewhere there who is working very well in their area, only that they have not had a chance to learn on how to interact with their colleagues in case one of them, say for instance, has a disability. Thank you very much for having been part of my journey since I started about a month and a half ago. And I look forward to working together with you in terms of you giving me your suggestions, you giving me what you know and all that. And let's keep building this network of knowledge, and let's keep sharing it. So if you haven't subscribed yet, I'll ask that you hit that subscribe button and click like, and again, drop me that comment. It means a lot. Let's do this even better in 2021.